Hello, scientists. You're welcome to another interesting basic science class with Miss Andres. So, today we're going to be exploring the solar system. Now, as a way of introduction, we're going to be talking about what the solar system is. Now, the solar system consists of the sun and everything that orbits or travels around the sun in a special order and at different speed. So this includes the eight planets, their moons, the dwarf planets, and countless asteroids, comets, and other small icy objects. We'll be looking at these subtopics. Where do we live? Which planet is known as dwarf planet? What is the largest planet in the solar system? How many planets are there in the solar system? And what happened to Pluto? Now, let's find out. Before we get started, make sure you have a pen and a book or a paper. Pay close attention and review whatsoever you've studied with your friends. When you study and discuss with them, it sticks even faster. Now, where is our solar system? Where is it located? Our solar system is located in the Milky Way galaxy, and that bright light is our solar system where we live. All the stars we see in the night sky are in our own galaxy, and our galaxy is called the Milky Way. Why do we call it the Milky Way? We call it the Milky Way because it appears as a milky band of light in the sky. You can say it's a streak of light on a black sky. So this streak is caused by a dim glow of all the stars that are within the galaxy. Now let's take a look at our solar system. We're going to be looking at the members of our solar system. What did I say? The members of our solar system. Now, our solar system is made up of a star, 8 planets, and countless smaller bodies known as dwarf planets, asteroids, and comets. Now, these planets are further divided into inner planets and outer planets. So we have 4 inner planets and we have 4 outer planets. Now, the inner planets were formed by dirt, rocks, and other space debris. You understand? And they are considered the terrestrial planets. Now, the outer planets were formed by various gases, and so they are known as the gaseous planets. So the inner planets are known as terrestrial planets, while the outer planets are known as what? Gaseous planets. Now, the inner planets are closer to the sun than the outer planet. That's why they are called inner. So they are closer to the sun than the outer planets. Then there is a natural dividing line, a line that divides the inner planet and the outer planet. Now, this line is called the asteroid belt. What did I call it? The asteroid belt is a line of thousands of asteroids being held together in orbit by the sun's gravitational pull. Now, let's look at the different inner planets. We have Mercury, we have Venus, we have Earth, and we have Mars. So the planets that are closest to the sun, the 4 planets closest to the sun, they are the inner planets. While the outer planets, we have Jupiter, we have Saturn, we have Uranus, and we have Neptune. So together they all make up the 8 planets of our solar system. We will be looking at these planets one after the other. But before then, I have a reminder that will help you remember the 8 planets. And it is my very eighth mother just served us noodles. Can you repeat after me? My very eighth mother just served us noodles. Now, M stands for Mercury, V for Venus, E for Earth, M for Mars, J for Jupiter, S for Saturn, U for Uranus, and N for Neptune. You see, it's very easy. So, can we go again? My very earth mother just served us noodles. M stands for what? Mercury, V for Venus, E for Earth, M for Mars, J for Jupiter, S for Saturn, U for Uranus, and N for Neptune. So let's look at some significant characteristics of each of these planets. What makes them unique? Now, for Mercury, it is the first and the smallest planet. It is the planet closest to the sun. And one thing about Mercury is it has no atmosphere. Now, in our next lesson, we'll be looking at different parts of Earth where we have atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. So then you will understand what we mean by atmosphere. Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. It's the second planet from the sun. And guess what? It has no moon. Then Earth, wow, this is where we live in. It has suitable climatic condition, and it is the only planet that has and support life in all forms, whether in humans, plants, or animals. Now, Earth has just one moon. How many moon? One moon. And this moon is the natural satellite. Then the next is Mars. It is known as the red planet, and it has the largest dust storms. Now, Jupiter. It is the largest planet and it has about 67 moons or satellites. Remember, the moon is the natural satellite, all right? So it has how many moons? About 67 moons. Then we have the Saturn. There's some things planet Saturn is known for and famous for, and that's the ring system. Okay? And it has the largest ring, and it is the second largest planet. So after Jupiter, Saturn is the second largest planet. Then Uranus. Uranus is the coldest planet. Then Neptune. Then Neptune is known as the ice giant, and it has 6 faint rings. Now we'll be looking at the layers of the earth. What did I say? We'll be looking at the layers of the earth. We have different layers of the earth. We have the crust, we have the mantle, we have the outer core, and we have the inner core. Can you repeat after me? The crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. So those are the different layers of the earth. Now, let's talk about Pluto. Guess what happened to Pluto? Pluto was formerly regarded as one of the big planets. It was the last outer planet, actually. We have 4 outer planets. Pluto was one of these planets. But recently, discovery shows that it is not a big planet, but instead it is a dwarf planet. Wow. So it is not a gaseous planet like the other outer planets. Remember, another name for outer planet is gaseous planet. But it is more like a ball of ice because of its distance from the sun. So it was in the year 2003 Pluto was renamed a dwarf planet. So many people think Pluto disappeared, but actually it was just renamed from being a big planet to a dwarf. That means a smaller planet, because of its small size and because of its distance from the sun. It's very far from the sun and it is very small. So that's why Pluto is no longer among the big planets. Because of that, we now have 8 planets instead of 9 planets. So now let's talk about dwarf planets. What is a dwarf planet? A dwarf planet is a celestial body that orbits the sun but cannot clear its path within the orbit, meaning there are other objects that stand in the way of its track. We will be looking at the different dwarf planets. We have Ceres, we have Pluto, we have Makemake, we have Umeo, and we have Eris. These are the 5 dwarf planets. But we also have some other smaller planetary bodies that form the solar system. Okay, we have the asteroids, we have the comets. All right. Now, let's talk about the asteroids. These are essentially bits and pieces of space dirt that did not form into planets. They are large objects. However, they are not large enough to be considered planets. Another thing you must know about asteroids is that they have irregular shapes, and most of them are formed from being broken apart from other larger asteroids, or they were meshed together through light contact. Okay, so the largest of these asteroids is the dwarf planet, which is the Ceres. Then we have the comet. A comet is a large piece of frozen gases, rock, and dust. So, comets are frozen because of where they reside within our solar system. Then we have the asteroid belt. We've talked about that before. We said it's a natural dividing line that divides the inner planet and the outer planet. So essentially, what is dividing is the Jupiter and the Mars. The Mars is the inner planet, the Jupiter is the beginning of the outer planet. Then we have the meteoroid. It's a much smaller piece of dirt or a rock than an asteroid or a comet. Then we have a meteor. It's a shooting star due to the bright tail light that is emitted from the burning rock. Then we have the meteorite. This occurs when a meteor remains or doesn't burn up and lands on the Earth's surface. Now let's look at gravity and weightlessness in space. What effect does gravity have on space? Gravity is the pull of the Earth force on objects in it. When the Earth pulls objects towards itself, we say gravity has occurred. So it is gravity that makes things that goes up come down or fall back to the Earth. So if you throw anything up, why the thing will return back to you is because the Earth will pull it towards itself, and that's because gravity has taken place. So many of the activities we carry out, like walking, sitting, picking up things from the ground, are possible because of gravity. So here's the story. When objects get to the heights of orbit in the sky, none of these activities we do on Earth will be possible again because the force of gravity has no effect on us anymore. So this is the stage of weightlessness, where the pull of gravity is zero, where the pull of gravity has no effect at all in space. So for example, when a spacecraft gets to the orbit, everything inside it appears to be weightless, as if it's light. You understand? So anything on anyone that is not tied down will float. All right, let's look at some effects of gravity and weightlessness. Number one, gravity keeps man alive because everything we do is as a result of gravity. Everything we do on Earth, so it keeps man fit. And weightlessness in space helps astronauts. An astronaut is a person that goes into outer space. So weightlessness in space helps astronauts lift objects that is far too heavy for them to lift on Earth. Do you know why? Remember, gravity in space is zero, which makes every heavy object light. So let's play a planet game. Yay! Now, in this game, look at the planets. You find out that some planets are missing. We have Earth, Uranus, and Venus. They are not with the other planets. So we are going to put these right planets in their right places. Remember, my very Earth mother just served us noodles. So let's check out the answers to see if you are correct. Wow! So Venus comes after Mercury, Earth comes after Venus, and Uranus comes after Saturn. Good job, scientists. What have we learned so far? So with this, we've come to the end of this wonderful topic. Yay! Thank you for watching and see you in class. Bye!